Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. We are the Odds Couple. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com. This is the Top Dogs and False Faves show that we do with Doug Upstone every week. Doug Upstone, a great call on the total that he gave us last week, but overall another losing week. Still a fine record overall, 24-20, 24-20-1.
And he got me last week at last night's game. We had a head-to-head with Carolina, and he nailed it on that one, boy.
All right, Doug, week 16, we're getting to the end of the NFL season where, playoffs start to matter, motivation starts to matter. How you feel about this week?
Yeah, well, obviously this week and a lot of the weeks of late, things have been going very well. And Peter, I think this is our 7th year doing this, doing these shows, and by far the poorest streak that I've had. And hey, it happens. I don't know what else to say. I always equate it to like, I don't know if anybody plays golf. I know some of the viewers certainly do. And you have a 25-foot putt that you see the line, and you can put it right in, and sometimes you stand over a 4-foot putt and you have no idea how you're going to get in the hole.
Oh, no. Our regular viewers know that long-term Doug Upstone has had a winning record every year, as he's had this year, too. I'm sorry?
And speaking of the viewers, I appreciate all of those that have continued to hang with me the last several weeks. It's been very much appreciated on my end, to continue. And hey, with Mike Brenner, this week, I'm either going all in and going to turn this baby around, or I'm going to be hopping out of that car going 65 miles an hour.
Oh, no. Our regular viewers know. I mean, in the past bunch of years, Upstone has put together some awesome runs. He always come out ahead, and this year he's up too. Yeah. Just having a kind of a tough streak right now.
Hey, it's a tough business,
yeah,
but the ones that grind it out are the ones that just keep on, moving forward, and just built to go, baby.
I have one little anecdote for you. If you flat bet the favorites, either the favorites or the underdogs for the season, you would be losing either way.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Doug Upstone, you're still at 55% in this show on the year. What do you have for us for NFL Week 16?
We're going to go with a false favorite right off the bat, and it's going to be the Tennessee Titans. Ooh. Now, we know that the Titans are fighting for the division title against Houston, who they will play actually next week. This week, they're going to Jacksonville, and they're off a really clutch fourth-quarter victory at Kansas City. And I really think they would be feeling really good about themselves versus Jacksonville, who, again, another losing season, another coaching regime that's going to come in, and just doesn't look like a good situation. However, the spread went from Tennessee at -3.5 to -5. And I know Blake Bortles has a penchant for making mistakes, but let's not get too excited here about Tennessee, who is 3-12 against the spread against division opponents and 0-6 against the number, coming off an upset win. I think the number's too high at 5, so I'll take Jacksonville and consider Tennessee a false favorite this week.
All right. Well, the Jags were supposedly a sharp play last week, and they did cover, although maybe they got a little lucky because their offense was completely stalled out. But yes, the line is split line 4.5 or 5, so we can credit Doug Upson with +5.
It could be a dangerous game because now you have a coaching change. Gus Bradley is out, and a lot of times when players, they don't voice their opinion, but whether they like the guy or not, all right, you have a fresh start, and sometimes that just breeds life into the to the players. So that thing could go either way. I don't know, man. That's a scary pick for me, Pistol Pete.
All right, Jacksonville +5. What's your second top dog or false fave for NFL Week 16?
I got a false a false total for you this week, and that's going to be on the Miami and Buffalo game. Ooh. Now, that total has sunk from 44 to 42, despite the fact that the last 3 games have all been overs, and the fact that these teams are a combined 21-7 over on the season. Damn. Now, I don't know what the weather's going to be on Saturday just yet in Buffalo, but as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, is that weather, there has been anticipation of cold weather or inclement weather. Totals have fallen, but the outcomes have not matched those. When I look at this game, I got Buffalo is not been very good. Not very good on defense, but quite good on offense at home. And they're 7-0 over at home. And I also dug up some information where Miami is 6-0 over, coming off a game in which they had less than 75 yards rushing, and they're playing on the road. I think the public is betting this the wrong way, and I think this is going to be an overplay.
All right. Well, is the public betting the under? I would assume the public would be betting over here, but Mike Browner, this one really had me scratching my head because, as Doug said, both these teams have been major overtrenders on the year, and it's a low total and got bet down. So now it's 42, very eclipsable total.
And there's one thing that concerns me because, Matt Moore had a great game, 4 touchdowns last week. Nobody saw that coming. But will reality strike this week? Because that guy's rusty. Let's not forget that. And I think Buffalo's going to throw some things at him that he's not used to having. I got no call on that because of the weather. It's undefined right now, but I don't know about Miami putting up a whole bunch.
Yeah, well, we shall see. They have both been overtrenders on the year, and this is a very low total. Doug Upstone, what's your third false favorite or top dog for NFL Week 16?
We're going to go with a top dog, and it's going to be on Christmas. It's going to be the Denver Broncos. Now, the Denver defense is none too pleased with the offense, as we read about after the game on Sunday. And this is understandable because Denver's only averaged 11 points per game in their last 3. Where the defense has still done a good enough job, certainly, to win any of those games. Nonetheless, Kansas City is not exactly an offensive juggernaut, and Alex Smith continues to make red zone mistakes, whether fumbles, interceptions, whatever it happens to be. And looking at this game, the Chiefs are a 4-point favorite, and let's not lose sight of the fact that the underdog is on the road team, is on a perfect 6-0 ATS run with 5 outright wins. I think Denver puts up quite a fight as a top dog, and I'll take them with the points.
All right. Well, Mike Brenner, you had a great call on the Pats last week to win and cover against Denver. What do you think about him this week as a road dog now at KC?
Yeah, well, Kansas City, their coach, I think, literally lost that game last week. That was a mess with time management, what he did and how they did it. I don't know if that team bounces back sharp enough, even though they're at home. All right, what Doug brought up with that defense, because I read about it, they're not happy whatsoever with this offense. Matter of fact, one of the defensive guys called Peyton Manning and said, "Please come back, Peyton." But with that being said, Pistol Pete, I think there might be a little fire, underneath the Denver Broncos this week, and Kansas City might be resting on their laurels being at home and also knowing, hey, that team doesn't score many points. But Doug touched on some great stuff with Alex Smith in the red zone, and that loss last week, I think mentally that might take them backwards. So I wouldn't try to talk them off the ledge.
Yeah, KC can be a tough place to play, but anytime you're given over a field goal to a team like Denver, I can certainly see that. All right, 3 nice picks from Doug Upstone, top dogs and false faves for NFL Week 16. Hopefully he'll have another winning week this week, right, Mike Brennan?
I think Doug's going to sweep the board this week, Pistol Pete, and he deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Doug Upstone. We'll talk to you again next week for NFL Week 17.
Thanks, Doug.
My pleasure, and Merry Christmas to both of you.
Merry Christmas to you too, my friend.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.